The new pronouns update just dropped. If we were to ask the general public what are neopronouns, you would get a myriad of different responses. Most of the responses being something along the lines of neopronouns are made up by Zoomers to make themselves feel special, as well as not needing to respect them because they aren't grammatically correct, and a lot more of that only two genders bullshit rhetoric typical of conservatives. This sort of rhetoric is just another way of making gender nonconforming people feel bad for existing, because despite being individualists, conservatives think that there should be strict ways of how you see yourself and express yourself. But fear not, my fellow trans and gender non-conforming folk. I, Lily, am here to defend you with my LGBTQIA+ sword that slashes through bigotry like light slashes through the night. That's code for we're going to be talking about neopronouns, what they are, how to use them, and why rejecting them is dumb. Also, I personally don't use neopronouns, so if I get something wrong, please feel free to correct me in the comments for being a stupid bitch. So with that out of the way, let's talk about neopronouns and why they're cool and based. As I joked about in the intro, think of neopronouns as an update and pronouns as the base game. For those of you that use neopronouns, please don't kill me for this dog shit analogy. Neo means new in some old ass language, so when you put it together, you get new pronouns. Neopronouns are often used by non-binary folk who don't like to refer to themselves by they-them pronouns. One of the reasons being that singular and plural they-them can be confusing because English is annoying and cringe and we're fucking stuck with it. As well as they-them not describing a person's gender adequately and choosing pronouns that more accurately describe someone's gender. Some examples of neopronouns would be ze, zem, zer, am, er, and z-zi-zer, and if I fuck that up, please correct me in the comments for being a stupid bitch. Examples of different types of neopronouns are alternating between pronouns, no pronouns, and noun self, where you have a noun subject and self at the end. The latter is typically used to express a gender that goes outside the concepts of masculinity and femininity. Xenogender is the gender expression that goes beyond masculinity and femininity and beyond the scope of this video. So now that we know what they are, let's talk about why conservatives are throwing their diapers around for nothing. Fun. There are so many bullshit arguments against the use of neopronouns, usually by people who want to restrict language to hurt or stagger the acceptance of people that are gender nonconforming, because a lot of the time neopronouns are used by people who don't fit into the gender binary of society. A lot of the time it's phrased as people inventing new terms to complicate things, but the way that we as humans express ourselves is inherently complicated. The way that people express their attraction or lack thereof is complicated, like the use of butch and femme in lesbian circles to describe the types of women that they prefer to date, or the use of ace and aro for asexual and aromantic people to describe their attraction to other people or lack thereof. Which I find to be hilarious because a lot of people stereotype gay people as sex mad, all the while making comments about how people can't be asexual because only plants are asexual or something like that, but I digress. Whether or not they mean to stifle the acceptance of gender nonconforming people is irrelevant. Actions are more important than intentions. But ultimately, this conversation isn't about how I or Benny Boy feel about the use of neopronouns. This conversation should be about how to make gender nonconforming people feel more comfortable and accepted in society. So whenever some dipshit conservative talks about the use of neopronouns and how only special snowflakes use them, they're vocalizing and prioritizing their discomfort over the feelings of other people. The acceptance of trans and gender nonconforming people is frightening to them because they've based how normal they are off of othering trans and gender nonconforming people. The use of neopronouns isn't up for debate, and anyone who chooses to actively disregard the pronouns someone tells them to use lacks empathy and probably eats garbage like a raccoon. But at least a raccoon is cuter, smarter, and cleaner than those babies. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk. But to be serious for a bit, you don't have to understand neopronouns to respect someone who uses them, just like how you don't have to know anything about someone's sexuality to respect them as people. As one wise commenter said in my last video, can we agree we as people are complicated? trans women are women, and trans men are men. We should be more empathetic and tolerant of people who are different and make different choices. You don't have to understand why someone identifies or expresses the way that they do to treat them with respect. You don't have a say in whether or not someone's gender or expression is valid. All you need to know is what to say and what not to say. It's the most simple fucking thing to do, and yet conservatives lack the personal responsibility and empathy to take accountability when they make someone feel like shit. So in conclusion, respect people's pronouns even if you don't understand why they use the pronouns they go by, and if you refuse to respect someone's pronouns, don't be surprised when you end up picking your teeth off the fucking ground. Good night.